Good morning. We've reached March. We've reached Mars. March is from Mars. The god of wars. M-A-R-S. The month or the moon of Mars. And today is the 1st now of March, the Friday of Freya, Fry's Day. Frigga, Freya, Norse version of Venus, or Ishtar in Babylonian, and Aphrodite in Greek. Here we are, the first month originally of the Ram of Aries, Ra, M. Why do you think you have reason? It's all about Aries. And these 2 months which led up to Aries here in 2019 end in A-R-Y in their names. The only two that end in A-R-Y because it's the time of the arising to the Ram, to rise to Aries. Arise and Aries, A-R-I-S-E, A-R-I-E-S, are anagrams of grammar, of the tetragrammaton of the Son, God, God's Son, Krishna, Christ. Arise. Why do you think you have rationality, reason? See, because Aries, the Ram, originally month 1, septem is 7, the separation of the year from Virgo to Libra, of evening, of Eve, of the sacred feminine of 9 o'clock. Septem is 7, octo 8, novum 9, decim 10. January 11, Janus, god of doors, Aqua Osiris, Aquarius, Capricorn into Aquarius, Aquarius into Pisces, the feet of the fish of February, of the fumes of the perfume counters of Eros, of Valentine's Day, of Rose, Eros, anagrams, of marching to March, where the moon currently is. You'll see that we are in the waning crescent time of the sea of Christ. The crescent, the one who dies, goes completely black, and then lights back up. Jesus with his 12 apostles, Jesus Christ, Jews, Jesus, Krishna, crescent, crystal, chrysanthemum, Jacob, the 12 with the 12 tribes of Israel, Jesus with the 12 apostles, positions on the ecliptic, the 12 houses of the Zodiac, or the Zodiac. Here we are, arising to Aries. We're not quite at Aries yet. We're still in the feet of the fish of Pisces, but we're coming up to the head of Aries, where there's reason and rationality of the brain hemispheres of the Ram horns of 3 o'clock, where the sun rises every day, house of the rising sun, of reason, rationality, and raising, rising up and tearing down, the one going round and round, from the sky to the ground, from summer summit at Tropic of Cancer to Tropic of Capricorn, winter Death Valley, the heel of hell, heaven in the head.
From the release Yeah No. I know almost nothing about this record. It was released in 2004, recorded in Brooklyn. Do your own research. Is interesting sounds. Before that, we heard Peace in Shifting Sands by the Carolyn Wrynn Quartet from her record Spirit Jazz. On that record, we have Carolyn Ritt on piano, Bill Thompson on sax and flute, Rick Klain on drums, and John Voight on bass. Next up, we're going to hear a track from Pharoah Sanders entitled Birds of the Nile. On that record, we have Franklin Kiermaier on drums, Pharoah Sanders on sax, John Esposito on piano, and Drew Gress on double bass. Released on Evidence Records. The name of the album is Solomon's daughter. Stick around for more spiritual jazz.
So we got Jack in the Green, we got Jack in the Beanstalk, Jack-o'-lantern in the autumn, Jack Frost in the winter, and then Jack in the Green in the spring. The character of nature. Money is called Jack. Flag is called Jack. Jack is from Jacob. Jack is the anthropomorphic image, character of nature, the personification of nature, of the whole yearly cycle, the green of nature. This is the God of this world. You see the owl here with the two eyes and Washington's beak. Neck is the beak. The owl of El, of the bull, of the double L's, of the pillars, of the parallel lines, of the lights of life. The bill is the bull. The bull, the Taurus of the zodiac, in the ascendant after Aries, in the month of April, and the months of April and May, of the May suns, of Beltane, of May 1st, 1776, of the Illuminati of Bavaria, and the Free Sons of May. Mammon. The love of money is the root of all evil. When you put this above the love of God, when you serve this over God, and when you think this is God, wealth, matter, material power, then you are evil. Evil is in your consciousness. Your psyche is overrun with serpents or thoughts, which are just like water. Good in moderation, absolutely disease, sickness in excess. Back to Hare Krishna now. We're in chapter 13, called The Body Called the Field, the Soul Called the Knower of the Field, and Discrimination Between Them. We're in the section called The Knower of the Field. Verse 15 was the last one I read, right? No, verse 16 was the last one I read. Which is, he is undivided. He is undivided or indivisible, and yet he seems to be divided among beings. He is to be known as supporting creatures, destroying them, and creating them afresh. He is the light of lights, said to be beyond darkness. Knowledge, the object of knowledge and the goal of knowledge. He is seated in the hearts of all. Knowledge, the object of knowledge and the goal of knowledge. He is seated in the hearts of all. Now verse 18, the fruit of knowledge. Thus the field, also knowledge and the object of knowledge, have been briefly described. My devotee who understands thus becomes worthy of my state. Know thou that Prakriti, or nature, and Purusa, soul, are both beginninglessness. Know that Prakriti, which is nature, and Purusa, which is the soul, are both beginninglessness. Or beginningless. It's just beginningless. And know also that the forms and modes are born of Prakriti. And there's a footnote here. The Purusa described in this section is not the multiple Purusa of the Samkhya. See below chapter 12. The Gita does not look upon Prakriti and Purusa as two independent elements, as the Samkhya does, but looks upon them as the inferior and the superior forms of one and the same Supreme. One and the same. Nature is said to be the cause of effect, instrument, and agentness. And the soul is said to be the cause in regard to the experience of pleasure and pain. The soul in nature enjoys the modes born of nature. Attachment to the modes is the cause of its births in good and evil wombs. The Supreme Spirit in the body is said to be the witness, the permitter, the supporter, the experiencer, the great Lord, and the Supreme Self. He who thus knows soul or Purusa and nature, Prakriti, together with the modes or gunas, though he act in every way, he is not born again. Different roads to salvation. By meditation, some perceive the self in the self, by the self. Others by the path of knowledge, and still others by the path of works. Yet others, ignorant of these paths of yoga, hearing from others, worship. And they too cross beyond death, and by their devotion to whatever they have heard. Whatever being is born, moving or unmoving, know thou, O best of the Bharatas, Arjuna, that it is sprung through the union of the field and the knower of the field. He who sees the Supreme Lord abiding equally in all beings, never perishing when they perish, he verily sees. For as he sees the Lord present equally everywhere, he does not injure his true self by the self, and then he attains to the supreme goal. He who sees that all actions are done only by nature, Prakriti, and likewise that the self is not the doer, he verily sees. When he sees that the manifold state of beings is centered in the one, and from which alone they spread out, then he attains Brahman. Because this Supreme Self, imperishable, is without beginning, without qualities, so, O son of Kunti, Arjuna, though it dwells in the body, it neither acts nor is tainted. As the all-pervading ether is not tainted by reason of its subtlety, even so the self that is present in every body does not suffer any taint. As the one sun illumines this whole world, so does the Lord of the field illumine this entire field, O Bharata. Those who perceive thus by their eye of wisdom the distinction between the field and the knower of the field, and the deliverance of beings from nature, they attain to the Supreme. This is the 13th chapter, entitled The Yoga of the Distinction Between the Field and the Knower of the Field. Chapter 14, The Mystical Father of All Beings. The mystical Father of all beings, the highest knowledge, the blessed Lord said, I shall again declare that supreme wisdom of all wisdom, the best, by knowing which all sages have passed from this world to the highest perfection. Having resorted to this wisdom and become of like nature to me, they are not born at the time of creation, nor are they disturbed at the time of dissolution. Great Brahma, Prakriti, is my womb. In that I cast the seed, and from it is the birth of all beings, O Bharata. Whatever forms are produced in any wombs whatsoever, O son of Kunti, great Brahma is their womb, and I am the Father who casts the seed. Goodness, passion, and dullness. The three modes, or gunas, goodness, sattva, passion, rajas, and dullness, or tamas, born of nature, or prakriti, bind down in the body, O mighty-armed Arjuna, the imperishable dweller in the body. Of these, goodness, or sattva, being pure, causes illumination and health. It binds, O blameless one, by attachment to happiness and by attachment to knowledge. Hare Krishna, hallelujah.